Welcome to Saturday's reading and reflection. This week we've been following Jesus in the final few days leading up to his crucifixion and resurrection. And of course today, Saturday, is the day between his crucifixion and Easter Sunday when he was raised again. There's just one verse to read today. The reference for that verse is going to come up on the screen in a few moments. You might want to pause at that point and take time to read the verse. And then Norman Hamilton is going to share with us a reflection for today.
Good morning. Yesterday Darren led us through those horrendous hours when Jesus was tried at a kangaroo court and then led away to his crucifixion and death. Treated as a criminal against the backdrop of a real criminal, Barabbas, being set free by popular demand. Carrying out the will of the people can sometimes be a very bad idea indeed. But all that was yesterday. It's over and done with, dead and buried. And today, Saturday, is a bit of a non-day, for it is the Sabbath. There's just one verse in Luke's Gospel about today, for almost nothing would happen on the Sabbath. After all, the fourth commandment said, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." Let me read that verse in the passage where we find it, in Luke 23 from verse 50. Now there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, a good and upright man. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen cloth, and placed it in a tomb cut in the rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It was preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. The women who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. And the next verse is the one about today, the Sabbath. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes, but they rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment. The burial of Jesus needed to come quickly, since the Sabbath was approaching and Jews did not believe in any delay to a burial. Joseph placed his body in a tomb cut in the rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It's easy to overlook the symbolism in this. Jesus had been crucified as a criminal, and yet he was being buried with honour in a brand new, unused tomb. The women saw where he had been laid to rest. They resolved to return after the Sabbath and anoint his body with spices to preserve it. But since they were faithful Jews, they rested from even doing that, for they wanted to keep that Sabbath rest commandment. But it's impossible to believe that there was any rest for their minds and their spirits. Devastated at what had happened, tormented at the futility and the brutality of what they had witnessed. Maybe they had some inkling of the resurrection, for Jesus had said he would rise from the dead on the third day. But if they're anything like me, they would have been asking, where is God now, given the horrors of yesterday? It would have been really very difficult to believe he would rise from the dead. It's hard to believe in miracles, isn't it? It actually took them to experience for themselves the miracle of the resurrection the next day for them to remember what Jesus had said. We have the privilege of knowing the end of the story, or rather the beginning of it, as Easter Day dawns. Today may seem a bit of a non-day, but we need to go into tomorrow, Easter Sunday, not just with a sense of celebration, but with confidence and expectation that miracles still happen in people's lives, yours and mine. Each and every day is given to us by God, and how we use it matters enormously to him. In Christ, there is no such thing as a non-day.